Today I'm going to talk about hero pose, Virasana. In hero, there's two things that are involved in the hips. This would be neutral with the hip joints. The hips in Virasana are adducted, meaning they're closer together than neutral. And they're also internally rotated, which means the hips rotate inward, and that's what brings the feet out apart. So in hero, it's important to keep the inner thighs together, feet out a little wider than your hips. Then you sit down between the feet. You may need to grab the flesh of your calves and just gently roll it off to the side a bit. Try to keep the toes pointed straight back. Avoid letting the ankles flex and bending the toes out to the sides. This puts unwanted pressure on the knee joints to rotate, which they're not meant to do much, if at all. They're really not meant to rotate. So try to keep the toes pointing straight back, tops of the feet on the floor. And if the stretch on the top of the feet gets to be too much, you can always come out of the pose. Sometimes that just takes some time to stretch out that area. If this hurts the knees, something needs to be changed. So what will usually help is to sit on a block. Sometimes you need to sit on two, stacking them up to get your hips up a little higher, and that's perfectly fine. Another thing that sometimes happens in hero is the arches of the feet will cramp. So what I've found helpful is to take something as small as a sock, ball it up, and put it right underneath where the ankle bends. That creates a little more flexion, so there's less cramping going on. This is hero. Sit upright. And there's a reclined hero, where if sitting on the floor without a block is comfortable, you might try leaning back onto your hands. One trick is to not sink into the shoulders, keep them lifted. You can also take it a little further and go down to the forearms. Now, if your knees lift or separate, bring them back together and shins to the floor. If that doesn't happen, stay up and work on allowing that stretch in the quads to happen. In time, you'll find that you might be able to go a little further down. Still keeping the chest lifted. Maybe from there you take it further and go down to your back. Now here it's okay to have an arch in the lower back because there's a natural curve there in the spine. You don't have to flatten your back to the floor. You can try if you'd like to, but it's not necessary. And here is reclined hero.